Hello everyone, my name is Zardasil, and today we're going to be going over each and every one of Karath's units and what they do. In front of us here we have the Sapari, the Dervish, the Magi, the Absolver, the Hallower, the Zephyr, the Castigator, the Warden, the Sentinel, the Throne, and last but not least, the Sharu. Those names probably don't mean much to you yet, but hopefully they will by the end of this video, so without further ado, let's get started. First up, we have the Sapari. The Sapari is quick and tanky, capable of stabbing enemies from a range with its long spear to avoid counterattacks from other melee units. In addition, when a Sapari enters hallowed ground, it gains extra shields and a movement speed buff. Since the extra shields are temporary, after they're spent and the buff expires, you can run back to hallowed ground to refresh it, giving even more free shields. Speaking of free shields, next up we have the Dervish. The Dervish is a tier 1.5 ranged anti-armor unit that has Wind Step, a short-range blink that normally has a shield cost. However, if you Wind Step into hallowed ground, your shields are refreshed completely and your Dervish is ready to get back into the fight. As you can see here, that means that with good micro, you can keep your Dervish alive and fighting for much longer than many other units. Thirdly, we have the Magi. The Magi is a tier 1.5 support unit that is capable of doing two things. Firstly, it heals your unit's health at the cost of mana. Secondly, it's capable of deploying to create an area of hallowed ground, which can be used to great effect with the Sapari, Dervish, and other Karatha units. The combination of these two abilities means that the addition of Magi can make your army exceptionally more durable than it would otherwise be. Next up, we have the Absolver. The Absolver is a tanky tier 2 zone control unit that can deploy in order to drastically increase its rate of fire. In a choke point and combined with Magi, other Karath units or towers, the Absolver is capable of doing an absurd amount of damage over time to enemies in range, thereby trading extremely cost efficiently. With the Absolver doing so much damage in places that it controls, we need something to dislodge them from problematic places. Here we have the Hallower. The Hallower is a slow, tier 2 unit designed to dislodge problematic enemy positions over time by smiting them with beams of light from the sky. Because of its extremely long range, enemies have to leave their fortified positions in order to prevent you from getting free value over time, causing engagements that may not go very well for the enemy. The Zephyr is a tier 2 anti-light skirmisher unit designed to harass, poke, and prod at enemy units with their AoE attacks, using a speed advantage to get into weak points in your opponent's defenses, causing large amounts of economic damage extremely quickly. The Castigator is a tier 2 anti-air cannon that is designed to fight flying capital ships. While it's not very effective against ground units, it shoots bolts of plasma that cause more damage the bigger the air target, with an extra special bonus bit of pain to etheric units such as the Throne. The Warden is a tier 3 flying air-to-ground harassment unit that has a special ability called Judgment. The Warden can spend mana in order to judge enemy units in an area of effect, slowing them and amplifying the damage they take, allowing the Warden to both clear enemy defending groups of units and enabling you to collapse and kill an enemy army that is out of position. The Sentinel is a tier 3 air-to-air skirmisher unit designed to clear the skies of any problematic units like Throne Swarms or very pesky Wardens. After the air is clear, this paves way for ground forces to advance free of harassment or skyborne threats. The Throne is a tier 3.5 Greater Angel Superiority unit. When you think of capital ship-like units, this is what comes to mind. The Throne has two attacks. First, it has a regular attack that it does while stationary. In addition, it has a sword attack that it can use while moving for extra damage per second without having to engage troublesome units. When it needs to, the Throne can throw all four of its swords all at once to do tremendous damage in an area. However, after doing so, they will need to recharge their swords for a period of time before they can go back to using their sword attack. Lastly, we have the Sharu. The Sharu is a tier 3.5 superiority caster that has two amazingly powerful spells. The first spell is Tempest, which deals damage to enemy units in a target area over time. The second spell is called Awe Strike. After a small delay, the Sharu launches a laser beam in an area, doing a huge amount of damage to those in the center of the effect and a lesser amount to those caught in the surrounding area. Alright, that's all the units for Crop. Hopefully now in the future, when you see gameplay, you now know what is going on and what the intentions are of the players building all of these units. Note that the game is still in pre-alpha, so in the future, units here will have additional functionality and may be changed. However, they're still fulfilling their core roles, and they will be fleshed out accordingly. Note that there's a unit or two here that I haven't gone over as they're vanguards that are tied specifically to Immortals rather than just being available in the faction normally. I'll go into those in another video when I'm covering how to play specific Immortals. If you enjoy Immortal content, then feel free to like, subscribe, etc. While I may not care about it very much, and you may definitely not care about it, the YouTube algorithm does like it, and it tries to support those that, according to those metrics, have an audience. As such, if you'd like to help support me in my endeavor to get you content, then please do so. If you didn't like this content, then please let me know what I can do better in the future and tell me what kind of content you would like to see or what improvements that I can implement into what I'm doing here. If you'd like to see all these units in action, then make sure to check out my previous video. If you already have, then don't worry, there'll be more where that came from in the future. Have a great day, guys. Love you all, and thank you for all the support. Man, guys, I just love this unit. Just look at it. Like, it goes wee.